Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? Episode number 437, Drink Until You Podcast, the only podcast that lasts until the last drop. How the hell is your Sunday going? How the hell was your week? Hope everybody's okay. I hope you're safe out there. I'm having my last cold one for the night. Just a Miller Lite here, nothing fancy. If you got them, drink them. Bottoms up. Cheers. All right, a little bit to talk about. I missed a lot of the UFC event here, though I did see some of the fights. A pretty good round of fights. NASCAR, man, I haven't been able to watch NASCAR in probably a good couple of weeks. I guess it's on Amazon, which is something I don't subscribe to. Which really sucked last week because Christopher Bell had a great race. And I think he ended up second place. He almost won the whole thing. And then this week, he was a did not finish, which is, not good as far as points are concerned. So I would have to assume, without looking it up, that he's probably hanging around 8th to maybe 13th place overall in the standings. It just hasn't had a great season. I mean, comparatively. He's not doing horribly or anything from what I'm noticing, but it just, last season, those 3 wins in a row that I actually did get to watch were huge. That really solidified me being a fan of his a lot more. But yeah, this season, I don't know, man. I don't know if there's something wrong. I can't remember which race it was. But he sat the whole race. It was an oval track. And he sat the whole race back down like 30th place or something. Like, not even trying to move up, it seemed like. Which is very odd for him. I'm used to him being competitive, at least. But yeah, he did not finish today, I'm assuming. I'm going to go ahead and assume Hocevar had something to do with it without even watching the race. I'll definitely catch up on highlights in the morning, but yeah, I'm just gonna say it was Hocevar's fault because to this point, I mean, the way we started the season, I think that's safe to assume, right? So yeah, I mean, having a decent season, I'm really bummed. I haven't watched the last couple of races. I've been available to watch them. My schedule's just been so hectic lately that. Thank God with Paramount Plus, I'm catching up on the UFC fights a little bit on Sunday, and it's kind of filling that void of missing the races on Sunday. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch one until maybe the playoffs start. Are the rest of them on Amazon? It's like I'm not going to subscribe just to watch like a handful of races. You know what I mean? Like, I guess I could and just like cancel it. But yeah, I'm just not going to do it. I'll just watch the highlights in the morning. It should just be on regular TV. What happened to Fox? What happened to FS1? I know they all do their certain contract. I mean, it gets that way for any postseason or any sport, really. I mean, you've seen it all throughout the NHL playoffs, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But, I mean, they've been on TNT. Now, last night's game was ABC. I don't know how they do it. It just seems like there's no structure to it. MLB does this, too. The only times I can't watch the games is when they're on Apple TV. It's the same thing. I'm not going to subscribe to watch 4 games this season on Apple TV. You know what I mean? And they're so sporadic. It's like you either keep the subscription all year or you just don't watch those games. And I opt to not watch those games. It sucks. As much as it sucks, it just is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Christopher Bell. He needs, I don't need shit. He needs to get it in gear, literally. I don't know if something's going on internally. I don't know if he's unhappy. I don't know if he's getting shit cars, which, I mean, the Toyotas are just blowing. I'm very, very new to NASCAR. I say this every time I talk about it. So if you're seasoned watching NASCAR. You'll have to forgive me for the terminology or the assumptions I'm making. I don't know that much, but yeah, the Toyotas just seemed to. I mean, that's what happened last race. It was all Joe Gibbs, except for Ty Gibbs. It was all Joe Gibbs Racing. All three Toyotas for that last race. Yeah, Toyotas are just. I love them, dude. I really never thought. I thought I would be more of a Ford guy, maybe a Chevy guy. I never really thought much about Toyota, but there's just something about them, dude. They always seem like the fastest cars on the track. I don't know what they're doing different. I don't know. I mean, they have to be within the rules, So I don't know what the deal is, but I just love a Toyota now, man. I can't help it. I just love them. I think they're great cars. Not even just the race cars, like the Camry's a great car. All their cars, really. I've always wanted a Tundra, and I've actually talked to a few people who, haul horses and stuff, or carry a lot of weight behind them. And the Tundras just really seem to perform well. I know Dodge isn't in NASCAR any longer, but Dodges are pretty good for the price tag. But the issue that I've always seen, I actually had a couple of Dodge trucks in my family at one point in time. The one thing I always see is the transmission. The transmission is always shit. I mean, they were identical trucks that we had. They were Ram, I don't know, 1500s maybe. Identical trucks bought at the same time, same year, and both had the exact same transmission problem. And it's, that's only one case on top of many other stories I've heard about, the transmission issues with Dodges. But dude, I don't know, man. The Toyotas just seem like an all-around good car. It seems every time I'm getting, somebody's flying by me on the highway, it always seems to be a Toyota. I mean, they're just really well-made cars, and I would actually drive a Toyota myself. Like, that's how sold I am on them. But yeah, I'm not paying that price. Like, they know the value of their car, so they're gonna charge you appropriately, and I'm just not paying that. So, kind of sucks. I really would love. My friend actually he just traded it in last year. It was more of a sporty racing type. I mean, a street legal, of course, but it was the souped up version that you would get at Toyota. And yeah, the thing was badass, dude. Like, everything about it, I was like, I just loved it. It was like blacked out. It was fucking awesome. I really, and what he got for the car, I'm not going to say, but what he got for the car, I'm not even joking, was damn near the value. Not quite, but it was damn near the value he put into the car. As far, the payments and stuff. He didn't do anything extra. He got it that way. They souped it up for him, whatever. But it actually held its value pretty well. You know what I mean? So I do love a Toyota now. I never thought I'd say that, but I really, really do. But yeah, I don't know what to do about Bell. I don't know what to say about Bell. Maybe he's biding his time. I don't know. I don't know what's going on this season, but it's drastically different from last season. And I hope it improves for him, I'm not hating on him. I love the guy as far as a driver goes. But yeah, we'll see. Let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. So moving on, here's something we haven't done in a while. I'm going to recommend a couple of cocktails here tonight. As always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash. Treat yourself to a Waymo if it's in your area. This is from Esquire.com. Let's see how many recommends I can get in before they kick me off this page. And these are actually 2026 cocktail recommendations. So hopefully they're new. They're not something you've heard of. If they tell me how to make a daiquiri, I'm just going to exit the website. But the first one they have, I've never heard of, actually. It's called a Batanga. Think of it as Mexico's tequila-fueled answer to the Cuba Libre. I need to look up the Cuba Libre, apparently. Here's what's in it. 1 ounce tequila blanco, 5 ounces Coke, ideally Mexican Coke, it says, ½ ounce fresh lime juice, and a lime wedge. So it's tequila and Coke? That's not very... I bet you can guess on how you're supposed to make this. Directions: rim a highball glass with citrus salt and fill with ice. Add tequila, lime juice, and liqueur into the glass. Top with Coke and stir. Where's the liqueur? It said literally tequila blanco. That's tequila. Top with Coke and stir. Now, you're never supposed to stir the bubbly stuff, are you? I always have a problem with this when I read these. Garnish with a lime wedge or wheel. Steak knife optional. Oh, I do see that now in the picture. There's a steak knife in the glass. What's the significance of that? That's kind of strange. Next one up, it's called the Infante. I think it's Infante. If you swap out triple sec for Orgeat almond syrup, and add a dusting of nutmeg, you have a cool weather margarita. Here's what it takes for the Infante. 0.2 ounces Blanco tequila, 3/4 ounce lime juice, 3/4 ounce Orgeat. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, I sound like a robot now. I guess that's almond syrup. And 2 dashes of rose water. Here's how the hell you make it. Shake with ice and strain into rocks glass with ice. Garnish with freshly ground nutmeg. Easy enough. Number 3 and last one. We're not doing a margarita. That's the oldest trick in the book. We all know how to make a margarita, don't we? Ooh, excuse me. Bubbly stuff's getting to me. I would say how to do this one, but I'm literally not going to try to pronounce that. Let's keep going. Tequila Sunrise, I mean, that's pretty standard. Mojito, that's pretty standard. Long Island iced tea, I guess maybe we're only getting Pina Colada, really? Salty Dog, I mean, we've done that one before. Mai Tai. Jeez. It literally has a daiquiri. About 3/4 of the way down the page. We're not doing a daiquiri. I guess we're going to end on the Salty Dog. Where did that go? Okay, let's go with the Cape Codder. How about that? If you're a vodka fan. Which, I mean, there were years, honestly, where I just could not drink vodka. And it was just for how my vodka adventure started out. I started out drinking Skull vodka from the plastic bottle. I had many bad nights and bad mornings and, bad next days from drinking that shit. And I mean, honestly, it took me too long to realize, why do I always feel like shit the next? It's like, because you're drinking shit. You're drinking the bottom of the barrel vodka that there is, but I mean, that's kind of how you purchase when you don't have a lot of money to spend, you know what I mean? So you buy the bottom of the barrel and then you just suffer. So here's how to make the Cape Codder. I keep wanting to say Coddler. Cape Coddler. Cape Codder. This one's a vodka cran for the upper crust. Gross. Ingredients: 2 ounces vodka, 2 to 3 ounces cranberry juice cocktail, ½ an ounce lime juice, and club soda. Okay, that's not as special as it sounds. It has a fancier name than what you're actually making, but here's how the hell you do it. Pour vodka, cranberry juice, and lime juice into a Collins glass over ice. Stir. Top with club soda, then garnish with a lime wedge. Easy enough, right? And it's one I probably have never read on this episode or this podcast before. So there you go. As I said, don't drink and drive. Cheers, everybody. All right, moving on to the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup final. Vegas up 2-1. And I'm telling you, man, I mean, Carolina's got something. I know they're down a game. But the way they played last night, dude, I mean, just coming back was honestly incredible. Like, they might have lost the game, but that should show them something as a team. That should honestly give them confidence moving forward. They were down 4-0, and in the third period, they scored 3 goals to be down by 1, which is amazing in itself to do. I mean, these are the best of the best teams right now. You know what I mean? Like, this is the highest level hockey you're going to see in the NHL, in my opinion. You know, the weak teams don't make it this far. So, being down that much, I mean, 3 goals in 39 seconds is like an achievement itself. What did they say last night? That this is the highest scoring Stanley Cup final since, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, some shit like that. And it's been great, dude. Like, yes, I want Carolina to win, but dude, just the level that they're playing to, both teams, is just unbelievable. And I'm enjoying the hell out of it. But yeah, in Carolina's case, I think they have a lot to be proud of. It's not over. If they can get a split, if they can win tomorrow night, they will have done something pretty damn epic. You know what I mean? Vegas is a tough team. You know, like, not easy to get past, and they sneak up on you. I was talking to my friend at work, and you know, he was just like, Vegas just came out of nowhere. They didn't even look like they were even going to make the playoffs, and they barely squeak in. And they're not making a lot of. Nobody was thinking Vegas. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I wasn't for sure. I was thinking Colorado all the way. The Oilers are coming for it. I was hoping my Stars could step it up. We couldn't. You know, the Sabres run was epic. The only thing that really made me think the Sabres might be in the Stanley Cup final is their coach. I mean, he's so experienced. He's been around for so long. I mean, he has some tricks in the bag. You know what I mean? So that coupled with having some young talent on the team, which he does, you know, that can take you a long way, and it did. The Ducks with Quenneville, I mean, they did a lot better than I think a lot of people expected, but with all that said, nobody was thinking, I don't think, that I saw anyway, and I'm all over hockey Twitter, but yeah, I don't think anybody was thinking Vegas. I think, you know, they got into the playoffs and everybody's like, yeah, they made it, but, you know, their time is kind of up, and now here we are. They're 2 wins away from winning the Stanley Cup. And I don't think Carolina's done. I say Carolina wins the next one. I say Carolina wins the next 2. I'm going to be bold and say that. But yeah, I mean, I just love how Carolina's playing. I love the fight that they're putting up. I love that they haven't hung their head. They could have just given up on that game and be like, we'll get them next game. You know what I mean? Like, being down 4-0, going into the third period, it's like, you could have just, you know, hung your head and be like, hey, we're not going to win this one. No big deal. We'll get them next. But they didn't do that, which kind of sucks because they did put the effort to push it into overtime. And they lost in overtime, which they had some great chances to end it. Carolina did. I know there's been some controversy, you know, with the. There was one Vegas goal in that game too that got called back, or I guess they blew the play dead. I actually didn't see that play, so I didn't speak on it. I'm not going to speak on it because I didn't see it live. And every time I try to look at the play, it's like they're just pictures or it's just people arguing in the comments. So I don't really have. If I can watch the play, I can tell, where the whistle blew the play dead. If it blew it before the puck crossed the line, the play's dead. And the rule is that once the ref loses sight of the puck, he blows it dead. So if it got blown down, which I'm not saying it did or didn't, I'm just saying that's the rule, which is I'm thinking that's what happened. But yeah, so there's been, a little bit of controversy as far as that goes, but it's been a great series, man. Like I'm so happy for Carolina. I've said this so many years in the past, so many times in the past years about Carolina. It's like once they get booted out of the playoffs, I have the same response for them every time. I'm like, where do you go from here? You have a good team. You're clearly doing enough to make it to the playoffs and make deep runs, and you just can't push through. What else are you supposed to do? And now here they are, and they really have a chance. It's not over, man. I would not count Carolina out. They're just the way they got there was huge for me. Only having lost one game that whole time was kind of incredible itself. But yeah, now they're in a dogfight, dude. Like Vegas is not going to go away. You're going to have to. I don't know what they're going to have to do. I mean, I can't say pound them into submission. With the forecheck, because Vegas is going to do it right back to you. You know what I mean? Like there were just such big hits on both sides, flare ups after every whistle. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's been fun, dude. Like overall, it's been really fun, and I'm happy to be watching it. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Carolina, I'm calling it. I'm saying they win the next two. They got to come out hungry, dude. Brenda Moore back there on the on the bench though, dude. Every time they cut to him, dude, he is just pounding that gum between his teeth. I'm like, dude, that guy's gonna turn that gum into powder before this game is over. I mean, it's like a nervous tick or something. And, they were down 4-0, so he's, of course, probably frantic in his mind. What do we do? How do we get back in this? And they got back into it, and they lost it in overtime. It's a heartbreaker. But, as I said, they should feel very inspired to know that they can score. They can get back into it. So, play tougher defense. And just don't fall behind like that. If you do, it's it's so much harder to come back from, obviously. So, anyways, let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. So we're gonna go around the MLB here real quick and look at some standings. I've been mixing it in some games here and there. A little bit of Rangers, a little bit of Detroit Tigers. I've been watching some Angels. Who else have I been watching? I want to watch the Brewers. I haven't watched the Mariners very much so far this season. It's just a lot happening in the NHL. So, yeah, let's go division by division. I'll give you the top two. Tampa Bay Rays in the American League East, followed by the Yankees, American League Central, Guardians, and White Sox. White Sox doing pretty good there. That's another team I want to watch. Tigers have fallen down. Uh-oh. The White Sox are ahead of the Tigers in the AL Central. My division with my Rangers, the AL West. Did the Rangers win today? Last 10, 7-3. Hey, we're looking good. Let's get that record above 500. AL West, Mariners, Rangers. Let's move over to the NL. You got the Braves and the Phillies. The Braves are just ridiculous. .682 winning percentage. That's crazy, man. NL East, you got the Braves, the Phillies. NL Central, you got the Brewers, the Cardinals. My Rangers actually just took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals the other night, which was good to see. The NL West, you got the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks. Oh my God. 636. Okay, yeah, the Braves have just the best winning percentage right now in baseball. But that doesn't mean anything, does it? The Braves experienced this a few years back. What did they have, like 102 wins or some crazy shit like that? No, it was the home runs. That's what it was. But they were still first place in all of baseball, and they got, I can't remember if it was the first round or the second round, but either way, they did not make it to the World Series that year, which is, I can't remember their record, but it was a pretty incredible record with, I think they almost broke the home runs for a season. They were like tied it, maybe. But yeah, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, that's for sure. But yeah, there's a little bit, let's see, I got to know if the Rangers won today, because that would explain how we're in second place all of a sudden. We've been teetering in third and fourth, so holy shit, did we ever win? We shut out the Guardians 10-0. That's awesome. Who do we have coming up here? Off tomorrow. What the hell? Where's the rest of the schedule? Yeah, off tomorrow. Are we? Back. We're off for 2 days? Then back Wednesday against the Royals. I'm assuming a 3-game series. But yeah, I'm mixing in a little bit of baseball, dude. It's I mean, I'm going to get I already have the bug. I just don't have the time to watch everything I want to watch. But yeah, there's a little around the MLB. Let's have another drink. Cheers, everybody. And to close out, I just watched, and I'll give you a little stand-up comedy recommendation. I just watched the latest special from Mark Norman, and he absolutely fucking had me on the ground, cracking up, crying. It was great. I loved it. And on top of just, I love his pace, like, there's some of these comedians that do his style. It's just like so many jokes crammed into an hour. It feels like an eternity. You know what I mean? Because your brain is just like jumping to the next thing. I'm trying to remember that Nick. His first name is Nick, and he's actually like a clean comic. He doesn't curse. He talks about his family a lot. Things like that. He's kind of country sounding. I think he's from like Tennessee, I want to say. I don't know. Maybe Nashville, more specifically. I'm not exactly sure. But that guy, I mean, I watched like an hour of his stand-up, and by the end of it, I was like, this feels like it's been 3 hours. Like the way he changes topics so fast. I mean, it can just be exhausting. It feels exhausting, But Mark Norman sort of does that same style. But, dude, I was entertained the whole time. He is so great. I love the play on words he does. And on top of that, I actually just love the special that he put out. Like a lot of comedians do something that I don't like when they put out specials. They try to make it into a movie type of thing or try to give it some kind of backstory. Or, the weird thing, too, that I don't know why they do it is when they, like, cut in between the stand-up special to take you somewhere else to show something. Like, John Mulaney did that in one of his. It had something to do with his dog or something. They kept cutting back to the dog in the middle of, and then it's like cut back to a stand-up. It's like, I don't really like that. That's not adding anything to me. I'd rather just, like Cat Williams, watch you get up on stage for an hour, do your shit, make me laugh. Like, I don't need, it's like the Pink Floyd thing. They're trying to make it into like a concept stand-up special. rather than just get up there and fucking tell your funny ass jokes and we'll be good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need this whole other world to think about. You know what I mean? I don't know. They just take it too far, but that's what I loved about Mark Norman. They were just like, presented by, I think it was Netflix or something like that. Presented by Netflix, Mark Norman at the blah, blah, blah. And then he just comes out on stage. I was like, yeah, that's okay. That's exactly what I like. I don't like beating around the bush. I want to hear you tell your jokes funny, man. Stop giving me conceptual ideas. It doesn't really work, in my opinion. I can't ever, I've watched so much stand-up in my life, I can't ever think of a single time where they've done a conceptual stand-up movie kind of thing and it's added to the movie. Like, even someone who I like, Demetri Martin, his last special I watched, they kept doing that cutaway shit, and I'm just like, I don't like this, man. Like, I'd rather you just rapid fire the jokes, even if it makes it feel a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, go watch that stand-up. I'm actually thinking about watching it tonight because he had some great shit in there. It's just killer. I love it. I love that style. It's very well thought out, and he tweets the exact same, which is hilarious. Just playing off of words and stuff. But yeah, if you haven't heard of him, go check him out. I don't want to say he's up and coming. I mean, I think people know him by now, but he's definitely one of my favorites right now. So I've actually fallen off the Bill Burr train a little bit. I don't know. The last couple of specials, I was like, yeah, they were good, but that's the problem with. I can't remember the one. I think it was in black and white. No. He's wearing the blue, Bill Burr. He's wearing the blue shirt and he had the red beard. And he was talking about where his wife rescued a pit bull just off the street. He's like, great, you brought a murderer into our house. That the pit bull wasn't, he was getting protein from somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, to be that big. That is Bill Burr's best, but that's kind of the problem, isn't it? When you put out an epic one like that, how do you get any better? So it's like the rest of them, in my opinion, get compared to that one, and they're not as good. I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they don't make me laugh, but that was just like the peak for me with him. It was such a great special. I wish I could remember the name of it. But I think his big bald face is on his big bald head is on the cover of that stand-up special. But anyways, go watch Mark Norman. It was pretty good. I loved it. I'm gonna go watch it again. And call it a night. Call it a weekend, right? But as always, don't drink and drive. Treat yourself to an Uber. Treat yourself to a Lyft. Treat yourself to a DoorDash, a Waymo, if it's in your area. And let's finish these off. Cheers. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for me. I will talk to you all next week. Be safe out there. I love you all. Bye.